Agriculture and Technology, and I'm assistant professor in the Department of Agricultural Economics. So today I will cover the topic that is one of the part of this Block 2 Farmers Organization. And before starting this lecture, I would like to ask you, what is participation? If anybody wants to answer, Mohammed Ahmed, what is participation? Participation, what it means? Okay. Uh,
Uh, I think participation is when a set of people, community, or group actively engage in a particular process.
okay,
Or
good.
yeah.
Very good. And what is the need for this participation and why it is important for agricultural development or any agricultural development program?
The need for participation is because it enhances people to be carried along in a particular process or a project so that everybody will be represented and they will have a clear idea of what the whole thing is all about.
Okay, very good. Nice. Uh, we know that agriculture is a predominant occupation in all over India, especially in developing or underdeveloped countries, or the development efforts during our 1950s or 60s or we can say 70s, all were based on the top-down services delivery approach. It means there was a delivery approach was top to down. There were delivery system based on the efficiency of civil personnel who work as an agent of development, and the important factors for the failure at the system level were lack of the reward and the punishment for the development agents who are who were not doing their work properly, or lack of political will on part of the government. So all there were a lot of reasons behind that, uh, and at the local level, the rural people didn't feel involved, that they are not involved in the program. They were not involved in that particular program, which were meant for them. Therefore, never took up the development program as their own. So, this lecture or the present agriculture, or you can say the rural development idea, revolve around the people. And I strongly believe that unless and until the local people or the people for whom the program is meant involved in the decision making at all level of program, means starting from the need of identification of the problem, then planning, designing, implementation, as well as monitoring and evaluation stage. It means at different level of programming, their involvement must be required. So that's why this participation of people is very important in agriculture and the other developmental activities or the programs meant for them by the government or the central government. So first one, uh, in this lecture we will discuss about the characteristics and the principles or and the philosophy behind this, the participation program, or people's participation, we should say. And first one, we will start with the people participation in agriculture and rural development. We know that it deals with the concept and impact of participatory development principle and the philosophy underlying people's participation, and various methodology for the participatory rural appraisal approach, all the key paradigms, and the specific consideration in participatory development approach. So it will also help you in understanding the ways and the means of motivation and mobilization of farmers and rural people for undertaking value addition activities. Then there are various characteristics and the importance of people participation. We know the word participation has been part of the development vocabulary since 1960s. It was then usually understood to mean people's involvement in only some specific kind of problem. Today, this participation is viewed as integral to the overall development efforts. And the participation is means to more effective poverty reduction and a window of opportunity for accelerating socioeconomic progress. So the participation is important for the development of any activity, participation of whom? Participation of the people for whom the program was meant or is meant or will be meant in the future. So from view these observation, participation can be defined as an interactive way or you can say social political process motivated by the desire or to meet an individual's needs through collective actions on mutual benefits basis. So people's participation may be defined in number of ways as the process of giving priorities to the people or the local people's perspectives in identifying, then in analyzing their problems and opportunities and improving the situations through their self mobilization. Am I audible?
Yes, very clear, Doctor.
Okay, okay,
Yes,
okay.
very clear.
Good. There are advantage of people's participation. Uh, Maybe participation make it possible to make use of your knowledge or knowledge of the people at grassroots level, their experiences and the resources of the local people. Or it may be maybe participation is a learning process through which people can develop their capabilities, and it also helps in individual and collective decision making, problem solving. And programs involve participation of people are more likely to be sustained after outside funding and support are reduced or withdrawn. If there is no support for that particular time or the support is withdrawn, then the people's participation will help them to sustain that particular program. Then participation by the poorer elements prevent the hijacking of the program benefit by the wealthier section of the society or the community. If the people for whom the program is, they are involved in that program, then they can be benefited more, or they can be away from the people who are wealthier than them. So if their participation is more important in the whole program or development. It helps a society to remain integrated as a lack of participation. It may develop in the people a feeling of isolation and neglect, ultimately generate frustration among them. So all these are the advantage of people's participation according to the Ray in 1991. And there are different principles also involved in it. Anything that you want to discuss here, or we can move? Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
you
you
can
are.
go. You are
Okay,
very much.
okay. There are the basic principles of participation, and principle of participations are mutual respect, active participation, agree to disagree, building consensus, commitment to actions. So this section deals with the basic principles which are underlines people's participation in our agriculture and the development, rural development process. And each of these five principles, which are shown here, makes a participation a driving forces and set of direction of development. First is here is mutual respect. Mutual respect means all people must be accepted as they are. Means we must accept with their weaknesses and their strengths. So means there should be mutual respect among them. And the second principle is that active participation means uh, active participation of people in the program at every stage of the program, means starting from the need start identification of need to the end of the program, like evaluation of the program. So there must be active participation of members. Then agree to disagree. Agree to disagree means participation require an means have suppose disagree means here have a different opinion from someone else. or to agree not to argue any more about a difference of opinion. Means I think if I think this is a good idea but I strongly disagree, so it means agree to disagree. If this is the uh, point where I have to accept a common interest, then the common interest will be above my personal interest. Are you getting this point?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Next is building consensus. Building consensus means, anybody wants to say anything at this stage? Agree to disagree is clear.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Next is building consensus means,
Yes, Doc.
okay. It means that it is our collective responsibility. Means the members' collective responsibility for the decision made is must, or coming to an agreement, or we I should say that uh, means finding a proposal or which is acceptable enough that all the participants or the members can support it with no member opposing it, because that leads to the better quality outcomes that empower the group or the association to move forward. So building consensus means coming to an agreement that is which is acceptable by all the members of the group. Next is commitment to an action. To action. Commitment to action means it is clear by its name that all the participating partners or the members must commit themselves to action on the basis of agreed upon decision and plans. Means all on the basis of the plans or the whatever they decided, they must be committed to their work or their action. Is it clear?
Yes, very clear.
Okay. Then what is the philosophy behind this participatory development? uh, Participatory development has a goal which the participant commonly share, and the common sharing makes the participants come together to take collective actions to achieve a particular or a common goal. All the participants are not equally endowed. Some have some resources, some other has some other resources. So thus the nature and the kind of participation differs. Or and participatory development happen gradually. It is not a sudden process. Development takes place step by step as a result of various atoms.
Fara. Shi yasa na tasowa ina jin wannan.
Then key paradigms of participatory development approach. What are the ideas? Paradigm means design or a model. So participatory development approach in rural development or in agriculture development programs should be based on certain key paradigms or ideas, we can say, or models, and which are as primacy of people. What it means, primacy of people? Anyone? What is this word primacy of people?
Putting people into consideration in every decision making.
Okay, good. Means the people interests must be taken into consideration throughout the whole programming or program or development process. Very good. Next is people's knowledge and skill must be seen as a positive contribution to the program. Means as it is written here, you can see that it should make use of people's knowledge, their ideas, their experiences for effectiveness of the program and of local resources, avoid dependency on the external assistance, and help to build the local capabilities. Means their knowledge, their skills must be taken as a positive contribution to this program. Okay, next model or the paradigm is people's participation must empower women. Must empower women means here it must seek mechanisms to reduce the gender inequalities. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Must seek mechanisms to reduce the gender inequalities by providing means by which women can take part in the decision making process and create transformation changes against the social and cultural barriers. What it means here, women empowerment.
People participate
Women here empowerment means
Yeah, it means that you are encouraging women to take part in every decision that is being made.
okay. Only in decision making? Decision making in where?
It means that women have to be involved in any decision making.
Okay, all sphere of life. It means the social, cultural, and political sphere. Good. Next is autonomy as proposed to control. Means it should invest responsibility with the local people, and this strategy should be for sustainability of the program. Next is local action as opposed to local responses. What it means? Local action as opposed to the local responses means it should encourage the local people to make decision and take action within the broad parameter of the program as opposed to merely responding passively to initiate initiatives proposed by others. Anybody wants to add here?
It means that the local people has diverse experiences on their activities and engagement.
Oh,
Because when you someone outside of that scenario, he
okay.
might not contribute as they can
Oh,
do it.
okay, good, very good. And next is allow flexibility in the program direction. Means our program should create to accommodate the ability of the local people to play increasing role and being and begin to assume responsibility so that they can take the responsibility and they can assume that the program is their own. So allow flexibility in the program directions. Anything that you wants to add here?
I think the flexibility in the program, the program should be flexible in such a way that it would not be very rigid
Hmm.
for change of the policy or the decisions. Because whenever decisions are taken, they should not be very rigid in such a way that they cannot be manipulated or cannot be changed. There must be a flexibility in the programs, in the decision making, in the policies, so that anybody can be involved in the decision making, and anyone can have the sense that he is carried along in the process of decision making.
Okay, okay. Can you list out any two or three paradigms of PDI or this participatory development approach?
You said.
Can you list out at this state? Can you list out the paradigms of participatory development approach? List out means all these paradigms like primacy of people's knowledge skills. I'm asking this.
Autonomy as opposed to control.
Okay, no problem. Uh, at this stage, can you give us importance of? Can you brief importance of people's participation in agriculture and rural development in your own words? What is the importance of people's participation in agriculture and rural development?
Yeah, I can list some importance or the advantages of participation.
One or
One,
two? Okay.
participation, people participation in agricultural development or making any strategies or policies has very many importance. One of them is that it will give a room to accommodate all the possible problems that you wanted to address. Because whenever there is no participation in the process, so the actual people that has the problem that want you to solve the problem, when they are not carried along in the program, so you cannot predict what you don't have.
Okay, good, very good.
You can have the possible ideas, the possible problems. Maybe they may bring out some strategies that you can follow that can be very easy for the formulation of the policy, and this will bring out many development in agricultural policy.
Okay, good, very good. Anyone
I
else?
agree with Ahmed. I agree with Ahmed.
Okay,
Number two of the advantage is that in the process of policy formulation in agricultural setting, women has a very vital role to play in the policy formulation because in agricultural setting, most of the activities that are being carried out, they involve the hands of women. So at least the women can have something to say, and they will feel they were carried along. They will feel that their decision is as important as it is supposed to be.
okay, okay. Dennis, you want to add something? No? Okay.
Uh,
Yes,
I
Danish?
have on this
Danish.
local
Okay, Danish. Okay, Danish is here, na? Y-
this
Em-
local action. I have a question on it.
Okay, Ahmed, you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to ask a question about the local action as opposed to local responses.
Local action as opposed to local responses. It means the local people should make decisions and take the action within the broad parameters of the program. Means whatever the program's objectives what they are and whatever the parameters are there, every individual must be encouraged to take the decisions and to involve in the process of programming, starting from the need of identification or starting from identification of the problem to the program end or at the stage of evaluations. And as
Yeah,
opposed, okay,
exactly. But my question is that in a scenario whereby there is one policy that needs to be formulated or strategy to advance the agricultural activities in a particular area, definitely you must involve the local people because they will help in the decision making. But my question is that what if people that are living in the rural areas, they are the ones that have the problem. But the strategies that will be followed in the policy formulation, it requires advancement in technology. It requires advancement in knowledge. Maybe they may brought out some strategies that when you observe them, you will see it as they are not going to solve the problem. And changing that decision, I think, will make them to feel they are not carried along. So how can someone do it on that processes?
what you really wants to say here means their decision should be taken into consideration or not.
They should be considered. But what if the strategies that you want to adopt might need advanced knowledge? So
Yes,
when they put out
actually,
the
their knowledge and their experience should be considered. But if they require advanced technology or advanced knowledge, that there must be the upgradation of that knowledge also. There must be the training for them so that we can give a good plan for the community as a whole.
okay, I understand this.
Now it is clear.
Yeah, I understand this now.
Okay. Next is participatory rural appraisal method. This is one of the important appraisal technique used for gathering information or collecting informations or uh, among one of this is important technique or methodology that is used to gather the information. And have you ever heard about this technology or methodology?
Innovative approach to data collection.
Uh,
Yeah,
this
I've seen something like this with a private organization, a private agricultural organization.
no, this is the methodology or the technique that is used to gather the information. So
Yes.
a participatory approach, and in this participatory rural appraisal method, uh, because there is need to unite the development efforts of the planners, okay, with the needs, aspiration, and the resources of the target group for sustainable growth. So the clientele must be made active partner in the process of planning or execution and evaluation of any program or any project, whatever that project is made for them. So considering this, there is a technique or new approach, PRA, that we call PRA, Participatory Rural Appraisal, which is followed. And the major changes in the approach is that is a shift from top to bottom to top. Means earlier we were framing the program for the rural people, uh, that is control from the central, but now the program is bottom to top. Now here the program is meant for the people and who are also taking participate in the decision making of that program or the project. So this is the PRA technique that is used as a bottom to top approach. So PRA is a method for appraisal of the resources in the village. Okay, this is the method for appraisal of the resources in a particular village with the assistance of the villagers themselves. Means here villagers also participated in this method or technique to gather the information or for the appraisal of the resources in the particular village. Are you getting?
Yeah, that's very clear. That's an approach used by one of our programs here in Nigeria.
Okay,
Is
good.
it's more like a backward integration of some developmental interventions.
Okay, good. Backward. What about this backward integration? Can you describe about this backward integration, how it is similar to PRA?
Okay, in PRA, we rank priorities of villagers, their opinions. We listen to it and all that. So in the case
Okay,
of integration, in the program I was talking about, that we try to go back to this community, understand their needs and all that, and in response to them giving us what we want, because we want to find a way to standardize dairy sector of Nigeria. So we go to this community, survey this community, interview these farmers, and then instead of moving from, we're using our own strategy from in terms of production strategy, we now go down to these communities and get their opinions and work backwards
okay,
from uh, their milking activities to production. So
okay.
that's what we do.
It means this is again a bottom to top approach where you go at the bottom level and take involve all the villagers and all the peoples at grassroots level. Am I right?
Yes, very correct.
Okay. So here PR is again is a method of appraisal of resources in the village with the assistance of the villagers themselves. It helps to assess the option of how to utilize these resources for the development or to rank the priorities as the villagers see them, or then record all these information, then we prepare a plan of action. So it is very flexible kind of approach to make use of varying situations. So it can be used to plan, execute, or monitor or evaluate a program. So this PRA basically is an alternative to time-consuming to expensive survey, and the survey are conducted to collect the data by investigator from outside using or who are using lengthy schedules and surveys. So this is a very important approach or that is used to as a bottom to top approach. Next is some important PRA techniques. Have you ever heard about this village mapping technique? No?
Yes, yes.
What is this village
Village
mapping
mapping.
technique?
Yeah, it's looking like identifying where the resources
Yes,
you'll be needing for your particular
yes, yes.
project,
Okay.
mapping them out and selecting
Okay.
them out of many villages.
Okay, okay. Here in this village mapping, uh, in a participatory mapping, the villagers themselves visualize their natural resources. Matlab they show their natural resources. Where is the river, forest, type of soil. So all these are depicted here on a map. Uh, and this will help both the villager as the program team in appraisal of the village resources and their location, where means we can identify, we can see the location of that particular resource in that village map. And the mapping exercise is done by the villagers themselves. They do it themselves, and all the micro details of the village get triangulated and corrected on the map itself. If there is a, mistake in that village, then they discuss it and correct its location on a map. So generally, this is of the two types of map here. We prepare, or the members prepare, two types of village map. And first is used to that we call the social map. Okay, in this map, it is made by the people. Mainly, it is made by the people, not by the expert. It is useful for the problem identification within the community or within that village, and in the planning of development interventions. So it is used to depict the habitation pattern of the region. Means in this map, the villages indicate the location of the school, hospital, house, post office, or anything. Uh, uh, like while depicting this map, the villagers can discuss the characterization and condition of household. Okay, is it clear what we show in social map? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible and clear. It's clear. It's clear. It's understood.
Okay, okay. Next is resource map. It is also one of the village mapping technique of PRA. Resource map, in this villager draw the location of all the natural resources. Earlier we have shown that in the social map, that is used to depict the habitation pattern of that particular region or the community. And whereas in the resource map, villagers draw the location of the natural resources like land use pattern or crop grown where, rivers, type of soil, trees or threshing yards, etc. Then, while depicting these resources, the villagers also encouraged to discuss the problems and what will problems and the opportunities on the basis of different natural resources. Is it is clear?
It is
Yeah,
clear.
clear.
Okay. Next takes village transit. First one was village mapping. Under village mapping, social map and resource map were there. And second is the village transit. Village transit means transit walk, means a simple walk. This is a simple walk technique which provide an opportunity to the team members to go through the village and explore in detail the land use pattern, type of soil, irrigation sources, and the what type of vegetation there, livestock, trees. So this is simply, it means during a walk, problems. We discuss the problems and issues and opportunity related to these. Uh, can also be discussed in this during that walk, and it is very useful to encourage a very experienced person or the very senior most person of the village, or the village youth to join this walk, transit walk, so that and encourage other villagers to join. We can also encourage the other villagers to join the walk as they are available on the way. So this will help them for the proper documentation of all these information collectively is it is very essential. Is it clear what it means, this technique, village
Yeah,
transit walk?
it is clear.
Okay, good. Next is seasonal calendar. Seasonal calendar is this technique helps to understand the seasonal variation of rainfall or temperature, availability of the food or crop sequence in that area, and what type of disease or insect pest attack there, labor demand or prices, social events, or you can income, expenditure. So many parameters are here. You can uh, understand through this seasonal calendar. This calendar are useful for identifying the major problems and opportunities. At the month of greater difficulty, you can find out. You can through this seasonal calendar, you can find out the greater difficulty month or other variation in that particular month, which have an impact on the people's life, or anything that you can wants to see here, like in which year, in which month there is heavy rainfall or no, and in which month which type of crops were grown. So through the seasonal calendar, you can also find out their information or the about the parameter, economic, social parameters, and this participatory season analysis helps the uh, villagers on the seasonal changes, that shows the views of the villagers on seasonal changes, and the changes that took place over the years are understood clearly and form the basis for the future planning, because all will helps to make a plan for them. Okay, are you getting this? What is the seasonal calendar? What you can draw from the seasonal calendar? You can draw the seasonal changes and the variation that you may see in this, in the particular community. Is that clear?
Yes, madam. It is.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Then time trend and timeline. Time trend depicts the quantitative changes over the time and can be used for variables such as the yield, area under the crop, livestock population, etc. So these techniques are very useful in understanding the changes and the trend in the population of livestock or agriculture or anything over the period of time. So this transit or the timeline present an overview of the key historical events that have taken place and their importance in the present situations. So this information will tell regarding the years of introduction of a new crop, or will help to know the introduction of a crossbreed or fisheries, or any epidemic or drought famine occurs. So you can see the from the time trend information. Then next is mobility map. This mobility map, basically this is used to explore the movement pattern of an individual or a group or a community. Means like mobility pattern of village of a woman of a village, means frequency of visit and distance cover, or mode of transportation, and the purpose of the visit, accessibility. So from this you can obtain such type of information. Then matrix ranking. This matrix ranking techniques, this reveals the villager's preference and attitude toward a particular topic of interest. For example, if farmers prefer for a variety of a crop, okay, or vegetable, tea, species, etc. Then the reason for the liking and disliking and the difference in their choices priority helps to determine the strategy. Means you can prepare a table or the matrix, uh, uh, means for matrix ranking the discussion on a particular crop is initiated. Okay, means listing of all the varieties or that is grown or that is told by the farmers of the community, and you can ask them to discuss the advantages and the disadvantage of each variety or the crop that were listed by them, means the good point and the bad points. Then you can ask to rank these varieties by using different criterias. And after the matrix, as the matrix table is will be prepared, you may ask, or the farmers are asked to point out the variety they consider to be the best among all the considering uh, every criteria. So this is the kind of matrix here you can rank, or the you can means the participant can rank the varieties, or on the basis of which we can find out the best variety. Clear the matrix ranking?
Yes.
Okay, good. Next is well-being or wealth ranking. Wealth ranking or well-being ranking is to find out the economic profile of the villages. Basically, this is to find out the economic profile of the villages, and it is useful to find out means wealth ranking, like villagers should be encouraged to speak out, for which what we have to do during the process of wealth ranking. Every villager should be encouraged to speak out their own criteria for identification of wealth, like land, about the land holding, availability of irrigation facilities, or whatever the material they have. So this will help to find out the their to give a picture of economic profile. Are you getting this? Because this, okay,
Yes.
this exercise helps in identifying the target group of the specific program. Because if we have to if the program is for the poor people or the landless families, then we can easily identify the group through this technique. The next is livelihood analysis. uh, this diagram is used to help about the to interpret the behavior and decision of household with the different socioeconomic characteristics. Where the different socioeconomic characteristics and the variable may include the household size and land ownership, wealth, and assets with them. In the so this livelihood analysis helps to know about their assets and positions of the farm family members or the participants. Then next is Venn diagram. This, what is this Venn diagram? Have you ever heard about this Venn diagram? Because it is also used in somewhere.
Yeah, it's a mathematical
Yes, this is mathematics.
analysis
Oh,
tool.
okay, good. This is the Venn diagram shows the kind of communication between the villagers and the different agencies involved in that particular program. It helps to identify the key institution and the individual responsible for decision in the community, and identification of the degree of contact and overlap between them in terms of decision making. What it means, this basically this diagram of an institution, this shows the institution or a organization or groups, an important individual found in the village, as well as villagers view of their importance in the community. So it helps to show the organization's important individuals, uh, as well as the villagers' view of their importance in the community. Are you getting this point?
Yes.
So the simple method to identify the role played by different people, or I should say, different agencies in the village, as perceived by the people of the village itself. Okay, it helps to identify the relationship among and between the various institutions working in the particular area. Now it is clear.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Then what are the steps in conducting PRA exercise? First is introduction about the PRA, means meet the village community and explains the purpose of PRA. matlab which type of information that you want to collect from them by involving them also. Okay. Then next is village tour with the key local leaders. Now it is clear from this that village there must be a tour with key, local leader of that community to identify the maybe to identify the water resources, crop grown in that area, or soil type. So start the tour with the local or connecting with the local people. Then group exercise showing a sketch map of the village locality. There are different types of maps, mapping of resources, or plotting of seasonality, time allocation of different activities, or village transit or walk that we call walk. And then a summary. There must be a summary at the end of each exercise. The villagers should be asked to summarize what the diagram conveys. What the diagram means, what the map conveys, and what are the important implications of that. So this is all these are the steps which are involved in conducting the PRA exercise. It is clear?
Yes, the steps are clear.
Okay. Then what are the farmers organization? Next, as we are talking about the people's participation, and the most important one are the farmers organization. Farmers organization themselves meet some of their specific need, and for which they form their own organization. The objective may be limited and many cases temporary natures, like for example, self-help groups. It may be men and women in the rural areas who can join the self-help groups. It may be the homogeneous group. It may be the heterogeneous group. What it means, homogeneous group and a heterogeneous group?
Yeah, a heterogeneous group is the one that has male and female members, while the homogeneous has maybe one particular gender in a group.
Okay,
Is that
okay.
correct?
If we are talking about the gender, so it may be the homogeneous in the sense कि maybe only men group or the women group, or heterogeneous means men or women both. Okay, good. Then this is on the basis of the gender. And now the some of the farmers organizations are the water users association, growers association, like tree growers, orange growers, etc., etc. All these are the farmers organization. As a specific commodity handling cooperatives, farmers transport association, young farmers club. So there are a number of the ways to unite or to associate on the basis of different criteria. The farmers organizations may be uh, is there any difference between the this SHGs or cooperatives?
Okay, from what I know of SAGs, they are small in number. I think
Okay,
they have a
okay,
minimum of 15
okay,
members.
okay.
Yes, but
Yes.
cooperatives are bigger. Yes.
Cooperatives are bigger, and they are legal entities where these organizations, farmers organizations, they are, or these associations are generally informal. Generally, they are informal. Okay, the cooperative need to be registered with the Registration of Cooperative Society Act as a functionary created by a cooperative society's laws. And there is no need for getting an association registered, means there is no need for the registration of these association or the groups. And most of the farmers organization follow the principle of corporations, while the cooperative can perform multi-functions or group generally remain the single purpose. This is the difference. Can you differentiate between these uh, organizations or these cooperatives?
Okay, one is formal and one is informal,
Okay.
basically.
One is formal and other is informal. Which one is
Yes.
formal?
Formal, the cooperatives organizations are formal,
Oh, okay.
while the self-help groups are informal.
Informal, because these cooperative have certain, they have to follow certain principles and laws, bylaws of the cooperatives and register under the Cooperative Act. And these associations are no need to register under any cooperative acts. They are informal associations of the people. The foremost known to us is SHGs. What is this SHGs?
It means
Self
self-help group.
help groups. Okay. This
Yes.
SHGs are the informal association of the people who come together to find the ways to improve their living conditions. Okay. And they are generally self-governed and the peer-controlled groups. And they here people voluntary and informal institutions who are organized as a viable alternative to achieve the objective of the rural development to get community participation in rural development. Okay. Is there, do you know any name of SHGs who are working there in Nigeria? Can you name here?
How? Okay, I know of a nomadic corporate, a nomadic self group. They are called um, solo power,
Okay.
solo power
Sulwaba.
self groups.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Uh, okay. So, self-help groups, uh, one of the important functions or instrument of the microfinance is the self-help groups. What is this microfinance? It is a provision of the financial services to the low-income household or the people who have no access to the traditional financial institutions and or who are not able to reach out these financial institutions or traditional financial institutions. So microfinance is very important concept which are connected nowadays with the SHGs and have come to be accepted in the policy implementation developing countries as the most efficacious intervention to elevate or reduce the poverty. So basically, this microfinance is a instrument or financial inclusion instrument that helps to reduce the poverty or when we connect it with the self-help group. Who is, uh, do you know the name of the person shown in this picture?
No.
No, no, no problem. This is the picture of Muhammad Yunus. No, who is he? Do you know who is he?
No.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. Who is he? Muhammad Yunus?
I think he's the founder of Grameen Bank.
Yes, as it is here, also written here. He's the founder of the Grameen Bank, or he's also awarded Nobel Prize in the year 2006. Very good. For
Yes,
their
he
work to create economic and social development from below.
yes.
Okay, he is the person behind the microfinance. And Grameen Bank's objective since its establishment in 1983 has been to grant poor people small loans on easy terms and conditions, that we call the microcredit. It means he is a person behind the microfinancing that which is popular, which is very popular all over the world. And the concept of self-help groups got significant, especially after 1976, when Dr. Muhammad Yunus, he's from Bangladesh, and he began experimenting with microcredit. Microcredit means providing small loans to the needy people, or especially to the women, or it's a whole process of financial inclusion, basically. And self-help groups have the potential of enhancing poor people's access to available uh, opportunities to income enhancement and self-reliance. So, this is the method of providing financial assistance in a very small amount, financial assistance to the needy peoples who have a problem of getting loans from the financial institutions, and they are to safeguard them from the clutches of the money lenders, and to start their some economic enterprise so that they can be on a better financial condition. Then what is the concept and definitions of SHGs? There were various definitions given by various agencies of a self-help group. SHG is a voluntary, small voluntary association of poor people. Uh, who are preferably from the same socioeconomic background, maybe up below poverty line, maybe above poverty line, means the similar socioeconomic background must be there. And they come together for the purpose of solving their common problems through self-help and mutual help. So the SHG promote the small savings among its members. There must be the small savings or habit of thrift among its members. Then next is the savings are kept with the bank, and this common fund is in the name of the SHGs usually. Means there is a small group of the people who unite together or form association, and they pool some savings, or and this is the common fund in the name of the SHGs. There will be the special name for a group. Name may be any name, like Durga group or any name of that group, and the number of the member is in one SHGs doesn't exceed to 20. For the 5 to 20 members may be there, and the members are expected to meet regularly on weekly and fortnightly basis, and a person who conduct the meeting and prepare the proceedings and enables appropriate decision for the action is chosen by the rotation, means the member will be elected by them also. uh, then these SHGs members save whatever amount they can save every month and mutually agree to contribute to a common fund to be lent to the members for meeting their productive emergent credit needs. So it means there may be internal lendings. They can also lend to the pool fund, or the will be used to lend the members itself. Is it clear?
Yeah, this is very clear.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
madam.
Okay. The SHGs are linked to the banks and disperse microcredit. And after certain period, these SHGs are linked to the banks and disperse the microcredit to the members and facilitate their empowerment and development. Because initially these groups are saving groups, and after a certain period of time, they are linked with the banks so that they can get on the name of the group. They can get the loans from the financial institution to run a any enterprise or uh, any development activity that they wants to run in their area. Then other definition given by the like SSG is a small economic and homogeneous affinity based group, people who have decided to save, contribute to a common fund. So all these are the definitions given by various economists or various agencies. Like similarly, NABARD also describe SHGs as a homogeneous group of rural people who are voluntary governed to save whatever amount they can conveniently save out of their earning, and mutually agree to contribute to a common fund to be lent to the members for their productive purposes or emergent consumption credit needs. Needs may be anything. That fund can be used for the productive purpose or may be used for the emergence condition, like for the consumption purposes also. Then again, this given definition, there are various definition given by. I think no need to discuss it. Then common benefits of SHGs are means sharing information, mutual support, problem solving, and overcoming isolation. So, and empowering them, inclusion through the non-hierarchical decision making, that only the family members can take the decision. Now, the member of the group, after associating with this group, now women can also take the decision. Socioeconomic and political decisions can also be taken by the member or the woman who are associated with this group. So, NSGs provide support in a difficult time and help people to deal with these stressors and give individual SHG members the benefit of helping and being helped by someone. This is the main important strength of SHGs. Next is reduce dependency on the money lender. Earlier, as they have no property or no assets to acquire the loan from the financial institutions, so they have to rely upon the money lenders. Now the dependency is reduced after associating with the SHGs. Now they this dependency, or they are now free from the clutches of money lenders, and reduce interest burden on the total borrowing. Then gradual increase in the income. It is not a sudden process, so there is a gradual increase in the income, because whatever the saving is used, they either used in the productive purpose or the consumption purpose. So uh, the process is slow, but but that will benefit them. And definite shift in the loaning pattern from consumption to the production activity. Initially, they may take the loan for the consumption activity, and after certain time, they may that will shift to the production activity. That will again increase their income, means in the way of the capital formation, and also helps to for the knowledge sharing, and helps to increase the civic community involvement, how to involve with the other peoples also. Then what are the characteristics of SHGs? uh, Basically small size, usually it is limited to less than 20 members per group. There must be not more than that, 20 groups in a group, 20 members in a group. Then homogeneity in terms of socio-economic condition and level of livings. Then periodic meetings. Then inculcation of the habit of thrift. So all these are the characteristics of SHGs. Then also one important thing, generation of the common fund through contributing regular equal savings from members. Then lending to members here means internal lending. Then availing credit support from financial institution without collateral substitute. What it means, what is this collateral substitute? Is it clear?
It is
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah, that's
What
very
this
clear.
point means is that if you are going for a loan, other than other places, you need to support it with maybe your property or something that if you're unable to pay,
Okay,
they
okay,
have to
yes.
use to.
Okay, collateral thing means anything that you want to pledge to acquire certain secured loan. You want to say that. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, good. So means credit support without having collateral property or assets. Okay, each member contributes certain amount, and members can turn to the joint and saving for the loans after 6 months, means after the formation of the group, as per their accounts, as per their written documents, after 6 months of being monitored by the financing agencies, the group becomes eligible for the bank loan. Now earlier the group was the saving group, and now after 6 months, after proper monitoring, now the group is linked with the bank. Now it is called the credit linked group. SHG credit linked group. Earlier it was saving linked group. The revolving fund helps the members to draw from it for medical and educational expenses, or to perform marriages and social functions, and to undertake family obligations, or to support their husband enterprise. So the woman helps at every stage of life to after associating with this group. The more educated woman tends to hold leadership post. In this group there is a leader, and particularly the more powerful posts, they have to deal with the financial functions and the dealing with the banks and the government officials. They also are involved in calling and conducting the meetings, and whatever the decisions regarding the selection of the borrowers and the amount of the loan and the rate of the interest and what should be the repayment schedule, all are decided by the group member of that particular SHG. So all the decision will be taken by the group members. Do you know what is internal lending?
Yes.
What is internal lending?
Okay, just like you have advised before, teller lending is money that's been contributed, perhaps on thrift. Then this money is being given to one of the several group members for
Okay.
maybe for business purpose at a time, and perhaps with some level of interest.
Okay. Particular interest, there is internal lending, means the group itself lend loans to its member. Okay, at certain interest rate decided by the member of the group. Is it that you want to say?
Yes.
Okay, good. So to encourage the women to realize that they may be vulnerable as individual, but collectively they can use their intelligence and creativity to solve their own problem. SDGs may be formed for any purpose, purpose may be credit for saving, mutual help, group, learning groups. So then an external facilitator may facilitate the formation of the group, but the group is only controlled by its member. Only maybe that there may be the facilitator, maybe the bank may be a facilitator, or maybe the government agency may be a facilitator, maybe any NGO may act as a facilitator, but it is controlled by its member only. Then the goal of the SHG need to be clear to arise out of the aspirations of its member and should be known to all members. Then the SHGs is better sustained if all its members have contributed to its formation in some way. And SHGs are dynamic, hence their composition may change and their lifespan is as long as the member felt need persist. Means it depends upon the members. So it's then intra-group conflict may reduce the cohesion of the group, resulting of its resolution. There may be the defunctioning of the group because of dispute in that group. Then ownership of the group by its members, all are the owner of that group. Then collectively break the socio-cultural barriers. Mutual helps as the foundation of the group. Then it provides a forum for collective learning, interagency dialogue and cooperation, cost-effective technical and financial delivery mechanism. So all these are the features of the SHGs. Then advantage of SHGs. I think I have discussed a lot about the characteristics and importance of SHGs. Can you can you brief the importance or advantage of SHGs?
Okay. It brings about cohesiveness within group, and it helps in education. It helps in self mutual respect, and also it helps out bring out responsibilities in people, or taking responsibilities in people.
Okay, okay, good. Uh, okay, there are some of the advantage are listed here. Uh, you're right. I think I should go to the SAG. Anything that you want to know about the advantages? Because already I have discussed in the characteristics or the features of the SHGs.
Yes, yes.
Okay, emergency of collective self-efficacy, goals that are visualized by the community members as external to their control, then viewed as within the group of their collective forces, increase the ability of the movement to mobilize public and private sector services of their benefit. So, so many advantages of joining the self-help groups. Then come to the, I think I should focus on the SHG bank linkage program. Basically, this SHG bank linkage program, it was initiated as an action research by the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD, in the year 1989. And it worked as a came as a pilot project in 1992, and now it is based on the observation that of various research studies that an action research project carried out by NABARD that we call the SHG that is a self-help group bank linkage program, and which was started as a pilot to the link around 500 SHGs to the formal financial institution during this year 92-93, and now this becomes the largest microfinance program in the world in terms of the client base approach, outreach of the approach. And SHGs which follows the punch sutri because five rules are there uh, of the rule for the SHGs, that there must be the conduct or regular group meeting must be there, regular saving must be there within that group, then internal lending must be there, and timely repayment of the loan, and then maintenance of the proper books of the accounts. So all these known as the Panch Sutra, or we should say five rules of SHGs given by the NABARD. Then Then again, the NGO sector has played a very important role in working of these self-help group promote as a self-help group promoting institutions, and by organizing, because they organize the group and nurture the group. Means nurturing means they provide the training to start a enterprise, enabling credit linkage, and by linking them to the banks. And so NGOs also play a very important role in this. And NABARD later co-opted many other like SHPIs, self-help promotional institutions, like including rural financial institution, maybe any bank like regional rural bank, district cooperative bank, primary agriculture cooperatives. So all these banks also act as a facilitator or also act as a self-help promotion institutions. So this is under the NABARD bank linkage models. And there are the three models. From this, you can see that SHG formed and financed by bank. Here, bank play a role where the bank forms SHGs involve, but means they involve the people and form a group and finance them by providing loans to them. And thus, it undertakes both the active functions. It means it plays a role as a financial institution as well as non-financial institutions, non-financial loans roles like providing training to them, nurturing them, organizing the group. So this is first model given by NABARD. Second model, that is here you can see that SHGs formed by NGOs but finance through the banks. SHGs formed by NGOs or maybe the any government agencies through the different government programs. They form the group, or then these groups are linked with the banks, and here banks undertake only the financial role, whereas that NGO or the government agency that take the role of as a non-financial role, means the only formation of the group is done by the NGO, or nurturing of the group is done by the NGO, or whatever the training provided, it is only through the NGOs or the government agencies. So the role is different here. Is it clear? The second model or the first model?
Yes, yes.
Okay. The third model is here where SHG is financed by the bank using NGOs as a financial intermediaries. Means NGOs work as a financial intermediaries between the bank. Okay. Then NGOs undertaking financial as well as non-financial loans. And within from this, you can also see that there is a internal lending also. All the members here, as it is not shown, but still the members also do the internal lendings at certain rate decided by the members itself. So there are the three models under the NABARD SHG bank linkage models. Is it clear?
Yes, doctor, but I want to ask,
Yes.
these second and third models, they are looking a bit more advanced, maybe from my own perspective. They're looking more a bit more advanced, and it's looking like cooperatives have more
But
access
they,
to these second
okay.
and third models than regular SAGs, I know.
This is there are the three models. Okay, first model, second model, and three models. uh, Functioning may be from any of the model may be present in your in India in any particular place, but the NABARD has given the three models here. First type is that in general you have seen that there is a SHG, and which is linked with the banks only. And the second model is where the NGOs who form that SHGs and financed that SHGs also. And third model where the NGOs and the banks, means the NGOs work as a financial intermediaries between these two. So maybe any may be present in your area. And just want to say that NABARD's SHG bank linkage model, the NABARD has given the three models here. The any of one may be present in your area, or you can opt any one of them.
I think basically the model one is very prevalent here.
It is very prevalent here. But in India, there may be chances to see all the three types of models are present. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And SHGs is primarily a saving-oriented group in which borrowing power is determined based on its saving. And there is other concept also, JLG. Do you know what is a JLG? This is
No.
no, this is a joint liability group. This is another concept, joint liability group. This is also a group or association, but this is credit oriented group. Whereas SSG is the primary a saving oriented group where the people come together and pool their savings, then go to the banks, then they are connected with the banks. Whereas GLG joint liability group, they are basically a credit oriented group. They are formed to take the loans from the banks and which is primarily formed to avail the loans from the banks or any financial institution. And it is an informal group comprising briefly 4 to 10 members for the purpose of availing bank loan, either individually or through the group mechanism against the mutual guarantee. There is a mutual guarantee elements are there. Whereas in SHG, this is the saving group. GLG is not a saving group. This is the basically credit oriented group. Is it clear?
Yes, it's quite interesting. Yeah, it's
Oh,
clear.
okay, good. Then financing of JLG was introduced as a pilot project 2004-5 by the NABARD and 8 states with the support of 13 RRBs, regional rural banks. And the scheme was later mainstream for banking system in the year 2006. And apart from extending refinance support 100% to the financing banks, NABARD also extend financial support for awareness creation. So, NABARD also extend grant support for formation and nurturing of GLGs, but there is a slight difference. As I have already told that SHGs are mainly saving groups, whereas GLGs are the credit-oriented group, where their purpose is to take the loans from the financial institution. Next, what is this microfinance? Earlier, I have discussed with you as the what is this microfinance?
Okay, as discussed before, it was established as Muhammad Yunus, a Bangladeshi, and it's basically to support smallholder farmers or uh, micro lending, basically.
Okay, okay. It's very good. It's a kind of a service, financial services. It is provided. It is the whole mechanism microfinance is through self-help groups. Okay, and it is the way of providing the banking facilities to the people to whom unemployed people, low-income people, or the group who otherwise would have no access to the financial services because they are not capable to take the loans from the financial institution. There may be so many reasons why they are not capable to take the loan from the financial reasons because they don't have the sufficient collateral security, or you can say they don't have the assets, they don't have the land, or they are very poor. That's why they are not able to take the loan from the financial institution. So it helps or it allows them to take a reasonable small business loan safely and in a manner that consistent with ethical lending practices. Then is it visible to you?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Okay. This involve whole microfinancing involve loans without collateral. This is important feature that there is no need to have collateral property. Then this is the group approach resulting lowering transaction cost and improvement in the repayment. What it means transaction cost here, loan without collateral. This is the group approach resulting. So it is to reduce the cost of borrowing. Then women empowerment, inculcation of the thrift habit. Then a small loan for income generating activity through market based self employment. Borrowers from the rural as well as maybe from the urban poor. Generally, they are from below poverty line. Then finance available for the consumption as well as for their other activities. Saving facilities is there, insurance facilities there, and so all these are the features of the microfinancing system or instrument. Is it clear?
Yeah, it is clear.
But there are a lot of things or there are a lot of problems in the whole process of microfinance. uh, Nowadays you can see the problems that arises in the microfinancing firms, uh, high rate of interest charged by the financing institution, microfinancing institution, or self-help promotional institutions or NGOs to the members, from the members, and system of it is a system of the quick repayment. So keeping the poorest out of the pale of microcredit. So not, and sometimes not allowing funds to go into the income bearing activities that have a largest gestation periods. So it is not easy to give the loans just uh, uh, for example, if you receive a loan today, it's not possible or it's not reasonable to say that you are starting to pay from or repay that loan from tomorrow. So it's a problem, and sometimes very harsh method adopted by the financing agencies in case if you are not repaying the loan on time, and borrower have to borrow from other sources like money lenders also, or friends also, to repay the loans advanced by these NGOs which who are doing this microfinancing functions. So all these are the difficulties faced in microfinancing system also. So this is all about SDGs and people's participation. Now, at the end, I just want to know from you that what is empowerment, what is microfinance, what is SDGs, what is PRA. Am I audible?
Yes.
Anything, any point that you want to answer here? What is empowerment or what is microfinance, SDGs, PRA?
Okay. Let me go with empowerment. Empowerment basically means strengthening, maybe intellectually, financially.
Good. And what is this microfinance, or what is this microfinance?
Okay, microfinance is a financial institution service provider targeting basically low income individuals or self-help groups where they issue out microcredits, business support, financial literacy, basically.
Okay. And what is this SDGs?
Okay, SDGs are it means self-help group where individuals come together with individuals that have common problem. They will come together to solve problems together using their limited resources. Maybe
Okay.
they are living in the same level of income.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Okay.
Wanted to
Ahmed. Okay, Ahmed. What are the 5 rules for SDGs or Panch Sutra for SDGs?
I just wanted to add about what you have said on SSGs.
Okay.
Yeah, SSGs they comprise of certain number of peoples.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe that cannot be oh, oh not exceed 20. Sorry.
Okay. Uh, mm, Tanish, Mohammed Usman. What are the 5 rules for SDGs or for the existence of a SDGs? What are the things required for the existence or for the sustainability of SDGs? What are the Panch Sutra? 5 rules means what are the conditions required for the existence of a SDG?
Okay, can I answer?
Yes.
Okay, for SAGs to be functional, they need to have a regular weekly or bi-weekly meetings. They have to have some savings. They will have some objectives to be working together, and the leadership role is rotational, and
Okay.
also they work together basically.
Okay, anyone? Danish, you want to add? Okay. First one is your what you told? Regular meeting. Okay, there must be regular meeting. Or second is there must be regular savings, and third is regular internal loaning, and fourth one is timely repayment of the loan. Then up to date books of account. There must be the fifth one is very important, that they must keep a book of account. Okay, so all these are the 5 rules for the existence of a SHG, or the for functioning of SHGs. For the existence, all these are the condition required for the existence of our SHGs. Is it clear? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, okay, good. So, anything? So, so thank you so much for giving your time.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you, Mohammed Ahmed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Okay, goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye, Doctor.
Good night.